Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I am in my Eagle 7 on Sacred Valley, flying solo, and this map reminded me a lot of a previous game that I had showed off. Can't remember his name, but he was in a STB1, and it was pretty much like wrap-up mode, and my team threw it. And not just my team, but Hoops was on my team, Drewski was on my team, and we ended up throwing the game. It was pretty unbelievable, and I gave big props to that STB. He had a very nice game. But this is a new game, and their scout is going all in. Now, to win this map, you must, I shouldn't say must, you generally need to win the northern BC line. And if you don't do that, then it makes it pretty difficult to win the game. So I give it the GG in hopes that my team looks at their minimap and responds to it, and I head to the middle because the middle is the next best thing that I know of that can win this match. Now, their scout that's platooned up with their other scout that just went all in is now dead, and here comes their other platoon mate. So they have a failed platoon of scouts, which actually is quite promising. Not that this map is great for scouting. I missed my shot there, but I do track them in place. And all three of their scouts are dead. So we have a 3-0 lead. Scouts don't make that big of a difference, but it does give us a 3-tank lead. So that is that. We lose our T10 to Artie. So one of our tier 9 heavy tanks are now dead. And now some of my teammates are responding to get back north. So I'm going to head with them because I feel like that's the most important position. We at least need to stop their push so we don't get surrounded. And that is what I'm going to try to do. There's an AMX 5100 over there. We just shot into his cheek. He's tracked there, so we should be able to get another shot. No, maybe not. Alright, what else do we got here? There's something that's looking at me. Could have been any of those things. I could kind of see their tanks, but not really. So it could have been pretty much any tank over there. Now I find this little honey hole, track the Yag Tiger in place. Maybe somebody will shoot him for me. And looking for shots. I really don't know how to get my shells through all that. Now I see the Striker and the T-34-100, so we're gonna get a shot into him. I feel like I'm really sitting out in the open for Artie. So I'm going to try to give my Conqueror some cover fire here. Looks like he's getting hit by HE shells, or just maybe the Crafts Panther's pending the top of his head. He's kind of tilted back, it looks like, and he's now dead. So our second tier 9 heavy tank is dead, and there's a Centurion pushing on me, so I'm going to reposition, get tighter to the corner. Don't have time to do that, but he just comes around the corner, not looking. I get my shell in. He is dead. It's 5-5. And this is actually looking okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And the Panther pulls out. We're able to track him in place. And let's see if we can get another shell into him. Sure enough, we do. Shot him down. Up to 1500 damage, 300 assist. And now we're losing by 1 tank. So what looked like an okay game has now flipped into not so good. We tie back up. And now I feel like I am stuck up here by myself again. However, the scout's coming to give me a hand, so that's good. Him and I can work together to try to just hold this position as best as we can while our team caps. I mean, we got a good trap set up. So we got 2 on cap, we got 2 sniping, we have Artie support. It's all good. And then my scout drives out across the B line. What are you doing? So this guy's just going to throw his tank. And the Striker strikes him down. So once again, I'm alone. I do have Artie with me. Hopefully Artie's watching over me. The medium, I thought that was going to pop up through here, never did, which is pretty interesting. So I'm going to push forward, even though it's a tier 8 medium, plus he's potentially got some support behind him. But I know that Striker's on potential one-shot on, I think, a sliver of health, so it should be okay. And actually it's 9-8, right as I say that. They tie it up 9-9, and I am pushing down into the middle, putting some pressure on their medium tank. Get a shell into the back of him. He's going to take off running. I really do not know the gun lanes very well through this whole village disaster mess thing that's going on. That's not important. They're down to 4 tanks. Pretty soon they'll be down to 3 tanks, just like that. It's 11-9, and their 110 is on a sliver. I know their Striker's on a sliver. I mean, it's all but over. And then their tier 9 artillery takes out the only tier 7 left in the match, because that's important. So I message him a bunch of laughing emoji faces thinking, congratulations, you just threw this game, because you have to try to focus on the small little tier 7 tank, which I could care less because I got the win. So, alright, so let's jump into the Striker, because obviously the only tank left to be the hero is going to be the hero. Alright, so what should he do now? He's going to set up an ambush. He does have artillery to help him out, but it is looking pretty bleak. So the defender comes around the corner, spots Artie, and is completely blind to the Striker. The Striker misses, but Artie lands a shot, and the Striker is able to reload and destroy the defender. Unfortunately, the defender just couldn't look to the right, especially after he takes a shell from Artie and kill the tank destroyer. And then it's game over. But these two both don't have any hit points, so the chances of this, like, making it past this point is not going to happen, right? I mean, I've given it away, obviously, a few times that it's going to continue on. However, now he is all alone. He no longer has artillery with him. So he's going to set up ambush number 2. And he's doing this with not many hit points left. If they look at him wrong, his tank will explode. And this part's in replay mode, so it doesn't show you the gun. Obviously, it's not my tank, so I can't show you the replay on mine. Let's see what the Super Pershing has to look at. You guys see the Striker anywhere? No, you can't see him. Now he goes to tank heaven. Back to the garage. Bye, Super Pershing. Alright. So he continues his journey on. And now it looks like he might be able to do this. Still 3 versus 1. They have artillery. He has no hit points left to play with. This is still going to be a difficult task here. And then, right as he comes around this corner, look at Charioteer's like da da da. I mean, the Charioteer, into his defense, the turret traverse is not that great. But I mean, maybe he thought that the Striker was still up in the north. He wasn't told that the Striker was in the north, nor did he know where he was when the Freedom died, or Super Pershing died. But he could safely assume that the Striker was in the north. So, I mean, he was looking towards the north, and then the Striker came around the corner. He couldn't get his turret around, and that was that. It looked really funny when he's off looking at the snow on the ground. Alright, so here we go. He spots Artie. He is not spotted because the tree, which allows him to aim his gun, shoot Artie, and now this is where he is very decisive on what he does. He waits for his sixth sense to go off before he makes a move. He wants the last medium tank to think that he's still up on this hill. Now he's going to get his binos up and see if the medium tank is coming down the 890, assuming that the medium has been chasing him around the map. He doesn't spot him, so now he's going to move positions, and hopefully in this next position he'll be able to get his binos up and be able to spot the medium tank whichever direction he comes at him. However, he gets lit up as he's trying to get into position, so now he's in a difficult predicament. So he's looking for a way out. His sixth sense goes off, so as far as the medium knows is that he's still behind that little ridge, and he looks for a way down, and that looks like death. Especially with this little amount of hit points, there's not much room to play with when you're going down a slope like that. One little rock will make your tank explode. So he tries to sneak through there, unable to do it. So now he's going to make his way back towards the Centurion, which is full health. Alright, so the first thing he wants to do is at least figure out where the Centurion is, and the Centurion is pushing on him, which is probably the right thing to do for the Centurion, and he's going to back up in time. I've never featured this tank, nor did I do like stat comparisons, but this tank can get around the map pretty well. I believe it's like a Leopard hull with a 105mm attached to the front, so it gets around the map pretty good. It's got decent concealment, good vision, and hits like a ton of bricks. So awkward position. Hopefully the Centurion can just come over and shoot down into him. However, if the Centurion gets his gun down, he's going to probably drive forward and try to evade the Centurion. So let's look at that from the Centurion's perspective. So the Centurion's back all the way in C5, chasing the Striker. And this is me trying to decide if I should ping the map or not. And I hate being the guy that gives bad direction. And then I chose not to ping the map, which then the Striker was spotted killing Artie, so I'm kind of glad I didn't, because obviously this guy can see where the Striker is located. Now as he comes around the corner, not a big fan because I feel like if the Striker is above him, he's disadvantaged, but also the Striker is on low health, so he can't really mess this up. Now I choose to ping the map to have him go back around because I know the Striker is fast enough to get out of there, and I figured the Striker already headed up the 5-6 line. Now this is where he goes dark and he attempts to jump off. And I really want him just to corral him down into the corner of the map. The other guy that's still watching wants him to just stay on cap. And then this is where they spot each other. And he just slips away. Centurion does not get a shot there. And to me, this is just brilliant play by Sniper Elite. I mean, these small little things that he's doing is keeping him alive. So it looks like he's baiting him to come over, trying to keep either the rock or the bridge in between them. And I don't know if you guys have ever had the pleasure of getting stuck on one of these rocks or hills, but like the bottom of your tank is lifted up and your tracks really aren't touching the ground, so you can barely move. You can see as he traverses his turret around, he's confused on what's going on, and the striker's going to take full advantage of this. Enjoy the circus music. He's perma-tracked, and this is the way the game ends. No, I'm just kidding. He fixes his track. He luckily swings his tank around, and then gets onto the bridge. Doesn't take a third shell, so he still can take 2 shots from him. Now, in my opinion, what he should do is just barrel down this hill, charge the striker, and finish him up. So this is from the striker's perspective. Do I need to show you both perspectives? Probably not. But to me, it was pretty interesting to see through the eyes of both players. And you can see the Centurion just seems like he's giving up at this point, confused on what's going on because he's stuck on that hill. You see his tracks cannot grasp, and then finally they hook up, spin him sideways, and he's able to sneak away and puts the striker back in a bad situation. So now he needs to hightail it. And watch how much distance he makes just from the Centurion backing down that hill. If that Centurion just barrels down, he's probably got 3 shots on this striker. Now, the striker uses this rock, blocks the shell. Just another small adjustment that he makes that keeps him alive during this game. And the Centurion pulls up, and game over. Nope, he just damaged the striker's track. Are you kidding me? Like, how lucky can this guy get? I mean, he's definitely doing things to keep himself alive, but there's a little luck on his side too. So the Centurion did spin around to come down the hill, and he snaps his shot off rather than aiming, it looks like. And then he has to pull up because the striker is able to get out of his view range, and he can't fully aim this shot. No, he can, but that's where he damages the track. Interesting to be able to look down his barrel there and see where he's aiming. I mean, to me, I feel like he was auto-locking, so it should have been on center, and then it just went to the right, but that's just me guessing. So, at this point, what does he want to do? The striker's going to be long gone. Our teammate's giving him advice. I can't remember what he's saying at this time. And then finally, I chime in and I say, you know what, it's probably best just to get on cap and try to force him into you. And then I come back and say, you know what, it's encounter. We're probably not going to be able to cap, but at least you put the pressure on, you start the timer, and potentially he may just come try to get a reset. Bait him over to you. And then as he proceeds to cap, thinking that the striker went all the way around and is going to kill him like he did Artie, I'm just telling the Centurion, hoping that he's listening, but also talking to our other player and just saying, like, if I was a striker, I think I would make an attempt to the 9-0 line, get on the sniper hill, and try to shoot down at this guy, stay unspotted. I think that's probably his best bet. Anything else, he's going to get spotted and potentially die. However, the striker is running out of time. And we start talking about tiebreaker here. And as we talk about it, I'm like, well, we had 2 tier 9 heavy tanks and they didn't have a tier 9 heavy tank. So chances are we are going to lose if he doesn't kill the striker. Which was terrible advice because in encounter match, that isn't the tiebreaker. Now this guy tells us, the guy on our team that's dead tells this guy to back up since he just took a shot and proceeded to sit there sideways. I let him know, you know what, you got to try to get this to the draw, and hopefully that we have enough hit points to take the win, and at least you don't lose. And then it comes up as a draw. So nobody won, which I guess is karma for me, sending arty laughy faces. But for this guy, it is heartbreak. This is a very nice game. 6k damage, 2,000 assisted, 7 kills, 1 away from his Radley. I don't think he would have had a Kolobanovs. I think he was just in a 1v4 situation. But great game nonetheless. If you have never seen the STB1 game on this map, I highly recommend you click on that, watch it. It's going to remind you a lot of this one, but it's just fun to see like a game come down to the wire. You think it's cleanup mode, and it's actually not. I'll quit rambling. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.